Ahoy there, mateys. This is Jolly Steve, and today we're going to do a tutorial about how to test your phone. So, in this scenario, I'm assuming that you're a new user, you just signed up, and today we're going to test a phone that is a mobile Android phone. I've just signed up, I haven't done any setup on this account yet. You see, I've logged in because it says my account instead of login, and over here it has my username. And on the dashboard, I'm on the My Numbers page. This is all what you would see if you had just signed up with a one number billed annually account. You're still in the free trial period. Mine's going to renew on 4/7 is when I would have to pay for this subscription. But I've got this phone that I've configured. Well, I told during payment, I put in the phone number and I said it was an Android phone, but there's really nothing else that I've done. So the question is, what else do I have to do to make sure that this phone works properly? Well, there is two getting started videos that you should check out. There's a getting started video that you should watch before this for cell phones, and we'll cover some of the initial setup. There's another getting started video for landlines. You can watch that one instead. The testing the phone is very, very similar. So all of this material will apply. But now we're going to look at, okay, I know roughly how to do some of the basic setup, but I want to make sure that this phone actually works. So I'm going to show you as a new user how I can test my phone. And even later on, if I'm a user and I make changes to the setup for my phone and I want to test it again to make sure it's still working properly. So where do I begin? Well, I begin by clicking on the gear or the phone number or the message, anything on this line you can click on, and basically it's going to open up the properties for that phone line. And you see here we have a message. All new users will get this message. Click to finish setup. You will have that message there until you finish the setup. So let's click, and then it'll change once you get a good test. So let's click on that, and it now tries to guide us through a test. So this window you're going to get when you're a new user and you have never done a test. Once you're all set up and you've done a test, you won't see this again unless you want to. Let me skip. I'll do this later. Okay. Because later on, what you could do, let's say you've already had this working for a month and you make some changes. Maybe I decide to use a different phone number, or I made some other changes. Maybe I got a new phone and I'm not sure on the new phone is it set up right. So I can say test my phone, and here we are back to this. Okay. So we're going to get this if we're a new user and we haven't completed the setup, we're going to be told to complete the setup over here, or if we're an existing user, at any time we can go test our phone. Okay, so let me start if I click here, by the way, you can open and close, right, to start over just by clicking on there. So, okay, so let's see what it's telling us. It says, here's how to test complete your Pirate Voicemail setup. If you haven't already, which I haven't, you need to set up your cell phone. Okay, right there's my phone. And use your new personalized Pirate Voicemail number of. So what happens is whenever you have a line that you're going to use with Pirate Voicemail, then let me put this away for a second, then we assign you a number on our system that your phone company can forward your calls to so that we can check on them and make sure that they aren't from scammers. So this phone number, 360-245, this has been assigned to me for use with this line. And now what I've got to do is tell my cell phone company that I want my calls conditionally call forwarded to this line, so that I'm going to use, instead of their voicemail, I'm going to use Pirate Voicemail. So let's click on here again. I'll show you from the beginning. Click on there and start. We get this. Okay, so I see my number there. Now, which phone company do you have? The setup can be different for different phone companies. Okay, I happen to have AT&T, so I'm going to go to them and I get some more advice. Okay, how to set up Pirate Voicemail for AT&T Wireless. Want some background info about Pirate Voicemail? Click here, it'll give you some background. The information for the wireless phones, it tells you that if you don't see your name for phone company, but if you know that like AT&T, a couple of the big carriers, they rent out their network to other smaller phone companies. So sometimes another company will have the exact same instructions will apply if they're using the AT&T phone system. So those guys are called MVNOs, or mobile virtual network operators. Sometimes the companies, I think Cricket is an MVNO. You can see a list down here of who they are. Okay, yeah, so here's Cricket. So there's a bunch of them here, and it tells you basically that we think that these same instructions will work properly if they're on this list. I wish we could say that we've tested every possible company with every possible phone. There's just too many options. So try and go through the instructions we provide. If something doesn't work, click on help and contact us, and we're going to try and help you out. Okay, so for now, let's follow through. It says, here is the part voicemail number we have assigned to you, and that's the number. To instruct AT&T Wireless to use this number for your voicemail, dial ***004** 1, and then the number that I'm call forwarding to, which is that part voicemail number, and then a #. And then if it works, I'm going to see a picture like that on my phone. If I have an Android, there's an alternative way. This will still work, but I can also go on the Android phone and go do these settings. Okay, so very cool, very interesting. But I'm kind of lazy and I'm busy and I don't want to do it. So you know what? Skip will do this later. And I'll say, what the heck, let me just test my phone. Well, if I do that, remember, I've never done the setup yet. So step 1 says, do this setup. I haven't done it. Step 2, now that you've set things up with your phone, let us test it. Well, I'm just going to try it anyhow. So I'm going to test my phone. Then what I see is test in progress for that line. Okay. We have launched a call. Oh, it's ringing. We have launched a test call to your phone. The caller ID will be, and it tells me caller ID, and it says, please do not answer. If I answer, I break the test. So I'm not going to answer. Ignore the ringing. Did the test work? When ready, the results will be shown underneath the phone number on the My Numbers page. You may need to refresh this. So it's right under here, that line. So I'll say, okay. Now we know that shouldn't work because we have not done the setup yet. So we see a test in progress, and then I can refresh. And let's see if we get some results. Oh, last test failed. If you click on this, you get some information. And it says, okay, the last test ended about 48 seconds ago. The result was, yikes, that call came through an unexpected telephone number. Are you forwarding to? No, I did not do that. Oops. So it's catching me at not having done my homework to make this work. Okay. So now I'll put you guys on hold for a sec while I go and do that little dialing, and then we'll come back. Okay. Okay, so I'm back, and I went and followed the instructions for AT&T Wireless that were right over here. I did exactly what it said. I got a screen, a little different because I'm on an Android, so I got an Android screen telling me that it was fine. And now step 2 says, now you have the settings, let's test it. So I'll test my phone, and I'll say, oh, it's coming in, I'm getting a phone call. And I'm not going to answer it because that's going to break the test. I'll just say okay. And I see it refreshes, tells me test is in progress. I know it's in progress because I can still hear it ringing. And let's see how that went. If I review, I'll refresh. Nothing yet. Hang in there. Done some testing. And I'll refresh. And look at that. Tested okay. So if I click on this now, last tested about 47 seconds ago, the result was this line has been successfully configured with the Jolly Roger telephone service. There is no need to test again unless you change your phone number or type of phone. So now what you'll notice is that when I'm here, I no longer, whenever I click on my settings, the properties for this line, it doesn't open up that dialog box anymore asking me to do the setup because I'm already set up. If I want to do another test at any time, I can go right ahead, but there's no need to. And if you look in your call log, you'll be able to notice, here's the one that did not work for me. That was a failed test over here, but on the second one, test call from Jolly Roger system, and that worked properly. So we've now, I can see it in the call log. I can see a nice tested okay over here. So I am all set and ready to use my new Jolly Roger subscription. Thank you very much for listening to this tutorial.